I know we all want this COVID thing to end, and it will. The restrictions in place now won't last forever. Smart people are figuring out how to get vaccines to everyone, but it will take a little longer. Until then, we need to recommit and finish strong. COVID won't stop spreading on its own. We have to stop spreading it. Meet with friends outside, social distance, and most of all, wear a mask. We're all in. Are you?
Some people see just another local Utah sports app. Oh, wait, what? A local Utah sports app? Introducing the new KSL Sports app, powered by KSLSports.com, Utah's only all-in local sports app, connecting you with all the action you love. The latest news, insider analysis, podcasts from the pros, and so much more. Free. Available right now, anywhere you are. Download the free KSL Sports app today from your favorite app store.
At UCCU, we do mortgages fast.
Seriously fast. Just use your phone or computer to fill out UCCU's super easy mortgage application.
You'll receive an instant pre-approval before you start shopping.
Your completed mortgage file will be underwritten by UCCU's very own in-house professionals.
Like us.
Seriously fast.
Buying or refinancing a home has never been this easy.
Seriously fast and super easy.
It's what I do.
It's what I do.
It's what we do.
We love the new apartment.
The natural light is amazing.
Hardwood floors.
There is a bit of a clogging problem.
At least Geico makes it easy to bundle our renters and car insurance.
Yeah, helping us save even more.
For bundling made easy, go to Geico.
And welcome. It's game night in Orem, Utah, on the campus of Utah Valley University. Matchup tonight between Utah Valley Wolverines taking on the Cal Baptist Lancers. And tonight I'm joined, this is Thomas Loomis, joined by Ben Perkins, former alumni, and honestly, couldn't be more of a beautiful night to play some soccer.
Oh, it's perfect here, Thomas. Thank you for the invite. It's pretty good weather to commentate as well, but I think this is going to be an awesome matchup with these two teams. I know UVU doesn't have anything to play for, really, in terms of being knocked out this past week statistically from post-tournament or post-conference play tournament, but it's great weather. I think we're going to see some good soccer tonight.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point with, it's unfortunate for the Wolverines that they just had a pretty disruptive season, that they had, more than 4 or 5 games canceled. What's that mindset, and how do you come into a game like this tonight as a player?
Oh, I think it's really tough, Tom. I mean, you know that there's nothing on the line in terms of a postseason berth, and so I think it has to come from inside deep, and also I hope it's an opportunity both for this coaching staff and also the players to impress the administration. It's a big game in terms of that, where obviously Coach Moss is gone now, and I think Coach Chesler is the interim head coach. He has a point to prove. So does every single one of these players on the field and on the bench. So I think that's where you're going to see a lot of this motivation come from. At least I hope so, to make it a good match.
Yeah, a game kind of more for pride than anything else, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And, I like the point you bring up as well, that not only is this a game, for the Wolverines and the players themselves, but, Chesler has a point to prove and is someone that probably wants that head coach job moving forward.
How could you not? He's a talented young coach. I think he sees an opportunity. I really enjoyed playing for him and with him when I was on the team here with you, Thomas. And so I think he's great. But, yeah, obviously he sees an opportunity, and I think he has to seize it with both hands because it's in a really attractive spot here at UVU. I think there's an opportunity to build something special, further upon what Coach Moss built. And this is an opportunity. They don't come very often, so I think you really have to make them count.
Yeah, great point. It is an interesting time here for Chesler. And we are underway here as the Wolverines have started with most of the possession. And I think that's going to be important tonight, that they haven't had a ton of game experience, as we talked about throughout the season. And, historically, this has been a field where, you've had a lot of wins and a place where these guys feel comfortable. And so I think that it's a great surface, and that game and that possession is going to be crucial for these guys to have some success tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that's something the university has prided, or this program specifically has prided itself on. I mean, you think about all the big wins in the 6 seasons under Coach Moss, against Washington, which I think you were a part of, against Akron, which I had the opportunity to participate in. I mean, there's a lot of big wins here, but you're absolutely right. None of that counts tonight, and you have to build on that. And I think you said possession. My main thing that I would like to see is for this team to be clinical.
And Cal Baptist wins the ball, coming in on the top of the box, and shot, and just wide. Good opportunity for Cal Baptist in the first of the night. Wolverines may be lucky to come away with a missed shot there.
Oh, absolutely, and they're interrupting my good commentating point too, which is a little bit rude. But talking with Chesler and having coached for him on the club level, I know he's going to be committed to a certain style of play, and with that comes mistakes. I mean, you see they're trying to play it through that holding midfielder, Easton Embley, and I think you're going to see a lot of that where there is a commitment and probably an acceptance of potential mistakes. And so I think you're going to see some of that, which might make it an open game. But what I was saying earlier, Tom, is I think what I would like to see from this UVU team is goals. I don't think they've created enough chances, and the chances they have created, they haven't put in the back of the net. I think the leading goal scorer is Aaron Nixon. Potentially he had a goal last game. I think the leading goal scorer on the team, whoever it may be, Alejandro Silva or Zahir Vasquez, it's on 2 goals. I think to be a really competitive team, you need someone who can put the ball in the back of the net reliably, and I just haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, great point there, as runs out of bounds here or a foul, I should say, as Joseph Wilwright will take this. Calls for the team to move up front. Ball in the air, comes back to UVU. Great touch to bring it on the ground as it swung to the right side. Mark Brown picks his head up. Nice little heel flick, but unfortunate that it just carries too heavy and runs to the goalkeeper for Cal Baptist. Quick outlet to his left wing. As he brings it back and resets. UVU's high pressuring. And the goalkeeper just has to elect to hit that wide and get it out of pressure. Good win for the Wolverines and good defensive pressure.
Oh, yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of that, too. I know Coach Chesler with Arsenal, which is his club that he's the technical director at. That's a big part of it. Press and force the opposition team into mistakes, and we saw it right there. And so I think you're going to see a lot of that. Although the problem there is you need to really build up fitness for that style of play over 90 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see here if they're able to sustain it.
Yeah, and if you haven't had so many games in the season, you're right that might be difficult. It's one thing to be conditioning as a team at practice, but it is so different to be in game shape.
Oh, totally. And I mean, you and I both know it, both as people who played sometimes, other times didn't. It's so hard to keep up with fitness when you're in the middle of the season and getting in rhythm. And, I mean, it's really tough to. So it'll be interesting to see if they can maintain it. I don't know if there's more substitutions as a result.
Right. Here UVU prepares for set piece. Into the box on a foul. Falls away. Oh, and a great opportunity for UVU. It almost looked like at first that he mishit it, but placed it perfectly on the ground right at the top of the 6. Nixon gets in there for a flick and just pushes it wide. Great save there by the goalkeeper, and great opportunity for UVU.
I'm glad you're doing play-by-play and I'm only doing color, because I was about to say it was a horrible strike of the ball. So I'm glad it turned out.
Ball in. Header away.
It almost looks like, Tom, that was something they've worked on the training ground. I mean, that striker was already moving into place, Nixon, off that ball. I mean, it looked like it was really well executed.
Well, I'm almost sure, and you watch as he winds up to hit that it probably fakes all of us out, and it is on purpose that he finds that to the top of the 6 on the ground, looking to play in the air. But great opportunity for the Wolverines as they keep possession and swing it across the back line. just mishit as McKay Eves had to look in the sun and tried to find Quizera there. Cal Baptist regains possession and elects to play their left back. And an unlucky touch there by the left back of the Wolverines. Carries out of bounds. A lot of this game has kind of been played in the center and not too much in the offensive third. So probably the second time that Cal Baptist has moved in to that area.
Oh yeah, since that early chance that, we had at the very beginning off the lost ball by Easton Embley. I don't think there's been too much.
Played into Mark Brown. Mark Brown. Back to Joseph Wilwright.
So it'll be really interesting to see here this fall. Everyone in the NCAA, all student athletes get a free year of eligibility is what they're saying. It'll be interesting to see who opts to come back. And I guess a question I have for you is, if you're Coach Chesler, do you plan on everyone coming back? There's so many unknowns, both as interim head coach and also eligibility, who's coming back and who to build on. So, what do you do there?
Right. I think that's probably something that is going to have to be communicated, and they're going to have a discussion, probably tomorrow, right, after this game, to where if I'm Coach Chesler, I need to figure out what my options are. Who does want to elect to stay? Who's going to move on? And what does that leave me with? What numbers do I have, and what positions do I need to fill? And if everyone stays, then, maybe not as much recruiting work on his end. But if there are players that decide, time to move on with my life and, start the adulting process, that's the place where he's going to have an interesting, dilemma ahead of him on who to find, where to find, as similar to this season, there hasn't been a lot of tournaments played in the youth level, but I'm sure that he has an advantage of being a club director and coach, that he's hearing the scene in Utah, being for a long time the only D1 program in the state. Dixie's now gone D1, and so I think from that perspective he should have a little bit of advantage on any other universities in the state as far as recruiting.
Oh, true.
And ball in for Cal Baptist. And just hit out of bounds. Almost played perfectly into a player on the top of the box. And will be a corner kick for Cal Baptist. Cal Baptist sends in their bigs, top of the 18. Corners away, and a near post ball played out. Great tackle there as UVU looked to counter quickly. Good defensive corner there. Get that away. I think that hopefully as the game goes on, it'll open up a little bit and there will be more opportunities for those counter moments for the Wolverines.
Oh, absolutely.
Looks to play down the line, deflected back. He'll reset and go back to Caleb White. Big ball in from Caleb White, top of the 18. And not able to get on the end of it. Smart reaction there by the goalkeeper to be able to step up and win that.
So a comment there, it's a compliment to Carter Johnson, number 35 on this Wolverines team. Again, there's that pressure. I'll interrupt myself this time.
Yeah, I wonder if, there's been some game film that they've seen that Cal Baptist might have a little difficult time under pressure out of the back, and so that's been a mindset and something that Chesler's asked from his team. And a foul there called. Was wondering if it was going to come. Carter Johnson draws that well. Dangerous spot here for the Wolverines.
And while they're lining up on this free kick, I mean, the comment I was making earlier is number 35, Carter Johnson. You see him all over, where he's got an absolute engine. And I think that's probably one of his greatest qualities. And I mean, you're a coach. It's got to be a dream for a coach to know you have someone who can clear out a corner off the line and then make it up here and win a free kick on the other end of the field.
Absolutely. Quizera steps over. Zaire hits it. Great shot off of the post and off of the goalkeeper. Absolutely unlucky. Unlucky hit there.
How does that stay out?
It's unbelievable that does not go in. And pardon me, Alejandro Silva was the one that hit it. And you watch him throw up his hands in unbelief that doesn't go in. Especially with a rounded post, that hits there and goes directly backwards off the goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the odds of that not bouncing in off the back.
Here's the replay. You watch Zuzera step over, and it's hit beautifully just out past the outstretched arms off the post and hits the keeper. Unlucky there for the Wolverines.
I tell you, in watching these UVU games all season, I think Alejandro Silva has been a huge pickup as a freshman out of the RSL Academy. I mean, he's produced. He has 2 goals, 3 assists, and I mean, you see right there, he's kind of got a wand of a right foot where he can make things happen, and he shapes his foot so well that I think you'll see special things from him over 4 years if he stays that long.
Well, as a freshman at 18 years old, I agree that he, I think, is one of the up and coming stars. That if he can continue his progression, stay healthy with the way that he's played this year and just minimal games, obviously he has the talent coming out of the RSL Academy. And I think the question as, a D1 college player, as Zaire gets him behind, hits it. You see the speed there. He's able to get around the corner, takes that shot with the left foot. Good save there. Possibly wanted to go a little bit more back post, but, great shot nonetheless. Make that keeper make a save as we talk and say as players.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so Jojea Quizera right there, it's been interesting. Under Coach Moss, he was playing out on the right side so he could bring in that left foot, cut inside. Where, I mean, here you see a little bit more of traditional winger play where he cut up the line. It was a good strike in the end. Like you said, I'm sure he was aiming for that back post. A little bit unfortunate, but, hey, they're creating chances. And I think we've got a good game on our hands. I mean, we've got the post on this end, a couple chances for Cal Baptist early on.
And we watch the replay here. Carter Johnson lays it off. Quizera gets around the corner, and you see that shot. He wants to round those hips and hit it a little bit more back post, but great opportunity again. I think UVU doing the right thing, tapping on the door, playing pretty well here through the middle as we watch. Unlucky through ball there, but they win it. In on the attack, lays it in behind, and the ref will call offsides.
I think there's an example of that attacking 4, and the ones I'm specifically talking about are these, pacier, smaller players, all who showed, just how dangerous they can be. Zahir Vasquez, Alejandro Silva, Carter Johnson, Zahir. It seems like there are 4 playing all behind striker Aaron Nixon. And they've got pace. I think it's something fun. I know you had quite a bit of pace. I don't know how you are now. I know you still work out, but I think,
lost it.
Yeah, I think they can be really dangerous. And that's something that made you special as a player, being able to have that pace. And not to say that there isn't technical ability, but it's something I didn't have. I probably have a 75, maybe 72 rating on FIFA for my speed and acceleration. It was just something I didn't have, and that's what I think makes this attacking group so dynamic and fun.
Yeah, well, as competitive as those first few years were, with UVU, I think that was one of the biggest advantages, no doubt about it. And I watched the last couple years that maybe that pace was lax there on the wings and up top. And so it's nice to see that they've brought in players that, can substitute, because it's something you can't teach, exactly like you said. Cal Baptist wins a free kick here. From distance, hits it and goes up over the goal. Probably one that he'll want back.
Yeah. But yeah, to that point, they tried to teach me speed. I just could never get it. So an interesting thing about this group is they've got these young players, Alejandro Silva, but I think, you've got real maturity as well. I mean, Caleb White, and I'll let you take over from here.
Ball into the back post, over Mark Brown's head. And it looks like from our angle a goal, but goes into the outside of the side netting. Second best chance of the night, if not the best chance there for the Lancers. Really, really fortunate that UVU comes away without a goal scored against them.
Oh, yeah, I think Liad Mordecci is his name, that number 9 on the left side. He just has to keep his shoulders over it. That ball was whipped in with pace. All he has to do is make contact and hit the target. I think that beats goalkeeper Wheelwright. But yeah, that point about maturity, where you've got young players, which is great, but then you've got Caleb White, for example, who's expecting a baby. You've got, married people. There's real maturity. And on the other hand, you've got players who've transferred from, well-established schools. Eric Lyons, this left back, he transferred from St. Mary's, who got as high as 5th in the nation, I believe, at one point. You've got Easton Embley from Portland. So I think the foundation blocks are there. It'll just be interesting to see who UVU opts to take over the reins full time and build with this group.
Right. Great point there. As UVU gives away possession yet again. Lancers in, plays wide. Will he save it? Can't get there. But to build off of what you were saying, yeah, I think that there is some great maturity. That they have a few of those seniors that you can stay and play if they elect to, and but might be moving on. That combined with great transfers, as you mentioned, and some up and coming young comers and freshmen. I think that UVU, for the longest time as the only D1 school, they're basically expected, you should be one of the best competitors in the WAC. I think that just has to be something and should be taught. And, I think these players expect that as well. And so with such a disruptive season, so many games being canceled, where it comes down to literally about 3 games to decide if you're moving on, is unfortunate and really hard to deal with. As Lyons gets in, plays the back post, lays it off. Quazira misses the tap in.
I think he just has to hit that with his right foot there, Tom.
I think you're exactly right. It looks like he tries to hit that with the left foot outside of the left, just very awkward, and hits it.
And, you have to say he got in the right spot, and that's what I always tell. That's what strikers are always told, and you know better than I do. I think you'd rather see – here's this highlight about to come up, and I'll let you talk about it.
He's able to slip in, sees him back post. Almost looks like he was about to dribble that. And you see that he just almost is confused as he goes to hit that. Maybe wondering if the goalkeeper was going to get there. But yeah, probably just an absolute unfortunate mistake and missed opportunity there. Needs to hit that with his right foot and misses it. Ball played in behind on the right side. Another dangerous ball in, and it'll stay in bounds.
Well done there by Caleb White to keep that in, and a good ball up the line.
Quazira puts under pressure. Takes off after the goalkeeper again. Able to clear this one away.
Yeah, I think from Jujea Quazira there, just shows some courage. Even if a goalkeeper comes in, clatters you, you've got to get your foot behind that. And I think that goes back to my point earlier. This team needs to be ruthless. There was a ruthless tackle right there, and I think it might come back for a booking, Tom.
Right. I would be surprised if it doesn't. He's going to talk, calls the player forward. It almost looks like he's just going to give him a talking to. It doesn't look like he's pulling out anything. We'll see.
I think this might be that one warning, and he's got to be on thin ice. Anything after this, whether it's dissent or any other tackle, I think he's lucky to get away with a booking on that one.
I think he's very lucky. You watch any professional game on a counter like that opportunity to where, 90% of the time that's on purpose. That's planned because they'd rather select a foul here than get run at their back line like that.
Yep.
Ball in, low, and headed away. Just unfortunate and unnecessary there from Embley. Ball was probably going to run out of bounds and carrying away, and decides to push him there. Again, same thing. He'll get a talking to.
I do like to see that. I mean, it's equitable on both sides, a talking to, and I'm okay with letting players play. I mean, try where you can. Don't have things be disruptive. And it looks like Carter Johnson has an issue here.
Yeah, he's coming up a little limp as he's trying to get to the sideline here. Trainer will come out, give him a talk. You assume that part of that corner is he's going in there, maybe a knee to D or gets hit at some point. Hopefully that's all it is. It's just kind of a hit there and hasn't tweaked or pulled anything.
And it looks like a sub's going to come in here, James Pena for Carter Johnson. I mean, really unfortunate. Carter Johnson came back from an LDS mission in Brazil, and I think he's showing good fitness, showing signs of life. I mean, you went to Chile, and I mean, it's tough to come back after 2 years, but I think he's adapting well, and I mean, you hope he gets better.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest challenges as you return from a LDS mission where you have not been running and you're not in fitness shape by any means. If you can adapt and you can try to get yourself in game shape as quickly as possible, it's definitely an advantage. And it's just always a hope that you're in a good spot and in shape enough that you're not pulling muscles.
Yeah, and so hopefully it's not a muscle injury here. And a good thing, a silver lining, is that his wife is the number 10 on the UVU women's soccer team. And I'm sure they do fitness together, and I'm sure they're able to rehab together.
Big ball over the top. That one's going to carry long. Run out of bounds for a goal kick. Ball played to the center. Finds it wide to Vasquez. Mark Brown in up top. Great touch in behind. Fakes the early ball. Ball in now. Great touch. Great cover there by the defense, though, able to win that, get away. Good defensive recovery there by Lions. As I think Leo Mendez probably wanted that touch back, went a little bit heavy, but nice little cut back, and Lions hits that out of bounds.
Oh, yeah.
Throw in here for the Lancers. Good ball swung back to the center back. Played wide. Ball over the top. And again, that one will run long and out of bounds for a throw-in. Mark Brown scanning ahead. A little too stagnant, doesn't have options. The ref telling him to scoot back.
You have to love when a right back walks up about 10 yards trying to find space and make space for themselves.
Right. Well, I mean, when you don't have options, it's like you're waiting. You got to try and find someone, right?
I mean, there's nothing that makes you feel more silly as a soccer player that's waiting for a throw-in.
Right. And Lancers again across the top of the box. Shot. And deflected wide. This will be a Lancers throw-in.
Looks like Coach Jeff Lewis with the Wolverines is preparing Aiden Dayton to come in. It'll be interesting to see who he comes in for.
Yeah, played a lot up top over the past couple years. And I think brings good energy. We'll see what he can do as UVU plays up top. Tries to lay it back and gives it away again. Lancers bring the ball down. Takes on Lions. Great speed there by Mendez as it runs out of bounds for a corner.
Really impressed there with Eric Lyons defending. I mean, about 4 times in a row in the span of 2 minutes, he's been one-on-one, and I think he's answered the call.
Yeah, you see the speed and agility and deception there for Mendez. So really good defending as the Lancers line up here for an in-swinger. Ball in, short near post. And just cleared away. Ball comes in and just in the right place at the right time. That's why you have a guy on the near post, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm no longer coaching, but I'm commentating, and that's why you put someone on the near and far post. I mean, Easton Embley clears the ball off the line there.
Another near post ball. And McKay Eves able to find that one and get it away. Needless giveaway, though, as he tries to play up front. Ball into the back post. And he elects to give a PK. Just a heart-crushing call there for the Wolverines. Joseph Wilwright trying to just stay in front of the ball. Slides at the last minute. And draws the PK.
That's been a real problem this short season, Tom. I mean, they've played so few games, and I think this is the 3rd or 4th penalty that these Wolverines have given up. So they're averaging a penalty a game, and with as few goals as they score, I mean, you put yourself into a big hole.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, last game they're leading by 2, and in the last minutes of the game, get a PK and puts them in a tough, spot with Joseph Wilwright having to come up big in the last minutes of the last game just to pull off the win.
Yep. And then against UNLV, they lost in overtime on a penalty.
Luis Mueller will step up and take this PK. Looks to be hitting it with the left foot here. And a great shot there by Mueller as he puts the Lancers up 1-0 with about 20 minutes left in the half.
Well struck penalty. Goalkeeper has no chance on that. Really well struck. Interesting they had the substitute. I mean, Mueller has only been on for 5-6 minutes. I mean, he didn't show any signs of being cold. Good weather, and I mean, a great strike. Again, you said it. It started with a needless giveaway. You started shaking your head. I mean, they were able to clear it out, and no one gets their foot through it. And I mean, you see the result. It's a penalty. I think that's where you just need to clear your lines and step the back line up. And the Wolverines really brought that one on themselves.
Right, and it's tough as your defender. You just win the ball, and you feel like you're able to get up at that moment, and it gives away right away. And those guys are then caught off guard back post for that ball in, and really unfortunate there. But great goal there by the Lancers. Are a great way to draw a goal and earn that. We'll see if the Wolverines can answer before the half ends.
And take nothing away from Mueller's strike.
Ball over the top. Thought he might be onside, and he's called off.
You like to see that, though. I mean, that's how you spread a back line and then offer pace. I mean, how you let these pacey players, you open up space to them. You've got to make that back line think twice. So I'm okay with the occasional ball over the top, especially on a good run from Aaron Nixon like that.
Right, and I think that you got to keep that back line honest, right, to where they can't just be high pressuring and pushing up front. That you want to try and play on the ground. I think that's the style of play that the Wolverines are after. But every once in a while, I think it's good to try and keep them honest and spacing to try and find that ball over the top.
Oh, absolutely. He couldn't have been that far offside, and then you make those center back pairing. You make them think about it again.
Again, over on this right-hand corner, ball in. Out of bounds for what will be a throw-in. Lancers seem to like this right-hand side.
Yeah.
They've developed a lot of their offense through that, and then balls back into the back post.
Yeah, I mean, so a question for you: what do you do to adapt if you're Coach Chesler and Coach Lewis? I mean, you know what side it's coming at. It's very predictable. It's working, and so I mean, to Coach Michelson and California Baptist's credit, you might as well keep on doing it. But what sort of adjustments do you make, if any, if you're Coach Chesler?
Right, big ball across by Pena. And I think it's something that they'll have to discuss at halftime, to where they regroup. They talk about, hey, here's where they're getting success. And it's either just a focus that you need to present to your players, or maybe you make some player adjustments and move some personnel around to where if you have one of your best 1v1 defenders, that maybe they slide over to that left back position or left wing, because I think that Quizera is maybe a little bit more offensive minded, right? And that's what they expect and need from him, and that's where opportunities have come tonight. But maybe we need to find it. Lions has done a good job at that left back, but so maybe it's just a point to talk about.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was no indictment on Lions at all. I think he's done a good job in his 1v1 defending. It's just being overloaded on that side, and you see it 2v1, 3v1, and I don't like those odds, and so I think you're absolutely right. Maybe Quizera, you bring in someone who can help that left back out.
Right. You look for those number up situations as a player, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's why they've had that opportunity. As McKay Eves gives the ball away, or Mark Brown, I should say. I believe it was McKay Eves and Caleb White able to come in behind and put that out for a throw-in. And the substitution is Ruben Dawes steps on the field for Leo Mendez. Leo Mendez being one of the great, attacking players this half, creating a lot of chances.
Oh, yeah, and
well-deserved rest.
For Coach Michelson, you've got to love that. Dawes is now after a penalty against Air Force in their 4-1 loss last week. I think he's tied for their leading goal scorer with 4 on the season, which is pretty good. With only, 7-8 games played with a COVID disrupted season. So you've got to love being able to go to the bench.
Ball into the middle. Cleared away by the Wolverines. And Quizera able to keep possession. Plays wide. As they look to play Quizera up the line. Good defense there. Knocked out of bounds for a throw-in. Back to Mark Brown. Over to Caleb White. Aaron Nixon called for the error.
I've been really impressed with this California Baptist team since making the step up to the Western Athletic Conference and Division I as a whole, where I think they've been really competitive. And I think a lot of credit has to go to Coach Co Michelson, who came over from Northwest Nazarene. We had played them in scrimmages with those early UVU teams. And I think, he's done a great job moving from D2 to D1 as a coach himself, and then this whole program where it'll be interesting to see once they're eligible to participate in postseason play, what sort of recruits they can get.
Right, and I think this is their last year, and next year they'll be able to play, for that postseason conference tournament. And so, again, it's just something for these younger players, and with this year, with the seniority, they can elect to stay. If that's the case, that this is almost just a year to gain some experience, gain some games, and they'll be able to move forward as a team and really try and compete next year, which, I think that they do have some personnel that they can.
Oh, yeah. With a 5-4-1 record and a pretty good conference, they beat a Seattle team that was receiving votes for the top 25. They can beat anyone on any given day, but my question has always been, and I don't know what you think, as a player being recruited, how does Coach Michelson get people and get good athletes student athletes, that is, student first, how does he get them to come and participate knowing they can't play in the postseason?
Yeah, it's tough, and I think that if certain players have the aspirations to play after, I think that that's still a possibility that they gain the experience, and then, he does all he can as a coach and gives them opportunities to find the tryouts and find the teams to play in the USL or MLS draft. But, for others, maybe just the love of the game.
Yeah.
Get your school paid for, I think would be huge for many of us. That I know that was amazing for me and the opportunity in my life to, help further me and get me to my career now. And so I think that, it's that love for the game, being able to have that opportunity of school being paid for.
You're right, and I think that gets discredited a lot. I think the NCAA and the Supreme Court are meeting right now about paying to play, but I mean, it's such a great opportunity as a student athlete to participate, represent your university, get school paid for, like you said. I think we discount that quite a bit. And I mean, especially California Baptist, a great part of Southern California. I mean, it's beautiful there. I was able to go there. My mother-in-law is from right around there. I mean, it's a beautiful part of town. So, like you said, I think there is something special to being a student athlete. And, I mean, you don't necessarily need postseason play to achieve that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what you dream about, obviously, growing up and as a player. But, yeah, I wouldn't trade anything in my time here for the moments with teammates and friends and being able to represent your university as the Lancers get in behind. Great attack here as he takes on 3 players and finally gives the ball away. Mark Brown, good tackle there. He dribbles forward and tries to find a teammate. Plays wide, finds Vasquez. Vasquez finds the split. Pena out wide. Lions plays wide. He's there on the ball. Great tackle there by the Lancers.
Right.
Quizera so quick, so shifty, but great anticipation and finds that win.
I mean, I think this Lancer team have really grown into their own, where since Alejandro Silva is hitting the post and Quizera, I mean, kind of fluffing his lines, I don't think they've really been too troubled. Maybe something happens here.
Dean Ibrahimovic from behind, gives the ball away. Quizera. Lancers win the ball back. And you watch these Lancers, they're very good once they've won the ball. A lot of times they're pretty good at keeping possession. There isn't any panic on the ball. They win it, and they find their moments to stay composed and keep the ball.
You're right. I don't think, I mean, even with that early UVU pressure, which I don't think they've been able to sustain. I mean, we're at altitude. It's always tough. But, I mean, they've seemed pretty calm with the ball. You're absolutely right. They win it back. And I think they do what a lot of teams don't, and that's connect a pass first. When you win it back, connect a pass, and I think that's very intentional. Right. So, I mean, that's good insight on your end. And maybe by Coach Chesler and Coach Jeff Lewis bringing in a couple subs. I mean, you mentioned Dean Ibrahimovic, and Zach Moss, and James Dunning coming in. Joe Wheelwright clearing that one off the line. Sorry, the substitutes were blocking Tom.
Yeah, I didn't have the eyesight there. Thanks, Ben. A little bit taller, able to find that one there. But, yeah, caught the last end of that. And Lancers unlucky there not to come up with the goal. UVU fans have a sigh of relief. Pena step over the ball. As Chris Heckenberg gets a talking to. UVU plays short. Alejandro Silva plays back right on the ball. The McKay's finds the split. As they reset and play back to Joe Wheelwright. Wheelwright out wide to McKay. Eves, Pena. Quizera, unlucky ball there. As UVU high pressures the goalkeeper. Good ball forward.
Again, another good win there by Lions. Great tackle from Aiden Dayton, the sub, who
chip over the ball. Finds Dean. Good left-footed touch. Unlucky the ball to get away from them. As he tried to slide forward, but catches the Lancer defender.
Nothing in it, and I think you like to see that. I mean, he's going for the ball, and great first touch. Just got a little bit away from him, but I loved that tackle from Aiden Dayton, and I think that's what he brings you. He can play as an outside back or as a holding midfielder. And, I mean, he's showing his versatility there as Zach Moss comes in.
Yeah, I think most of us thought that he was in, and that's probably a goal-scoring opportunity, and absolute great recovery there by Antonio Gomez.
Yep. Quizera and Zahir Vasquez both coming off.
Quizera steps off, Vasquez steps on, and Moss steps on. As well as James Dunning. Goalkeeper pulls it off to the left side, slides over. Armen Isakigan will come on here shortly for Uriel Mosqueda. I probably butchered that last name, so I apologize.
Sounded good to me.
Ball in the left side, cuts it back. Ball into the middle, and just ahead of the oncoming header. Good look there for the Lancers.
So with this injury that you were talking about, Coach Co-Michaelson barking out orders with a little bit of a shift in personnel. I didn't quite catch it, but it sounds like someone's moving into right back, someone moving into the 10. So again, I mean, this is what you love to see. Players being able to be versatile. And I mean, I think about you, however many positions you played at the Division I level, and I think that's what helps make players special. And for young ones watching out there, I think you have to be open to that and be able to play multiple places wherever your team needs you.
Well, yeah, I think as you grow up, majority of the youth players, right, the best player is going to play up top. They're the forward, and they score all the goals, right? But as they grow older and that complete player, you really can kind of move into a position, and I think coaches look for a complete player that, that, like you said, will change as you get older. Personnel to team, played into the middle, ball in behind. Unbelievable save by Will Wright as he staves big and is able to knock that wide out for a corner. But a great through ball, little 1-2, and plays into behind.
That whole build-up was, fantastic. It was really next level, and I think we might see a replay here where, everything from half. It was 1-2 touch, great turns.
Here it is here, plays in, great through ball, cuts back to the center, and he's able to find him through. Maybe just could have had a little bit of softer touch, ball in, and a second goal for the Lancers, and they find it off the corner kick.
Two goals conceded off set pieces, or if you look at it the other way, 2 goals scored on set pieces by this California Baptist team, taking advantage of, it looked like pretty soft defending there in the box. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah, I think that comes down to a focus and a mentality as we watch the replay here. Great ball into the mix. You see as Moss loses his guy back post, heads it back to the middle, exactly what you need. Touch, and is able to knock that into the net.
That's a great strike there, great swivel without much space. Granted, I don't think any defending team, if you're Coach Chesler, you don't ever want to see any space at all, but take nothing away from that goal. I think that header back into a dangerous spot and then a swivel and a strike.
Yeah, that was big.
Yeah, a good goal there from a good California Baptist team.
Six minutes left in the half now. Pena plays wide. Lyons on his right foot. Back to Pena. And now to Lyons. Lyons will put it in. Up to Dayton. Dayton through. Can Mark Brown get there? Cutback ball. And just over Dean. Unfortunate there.
Good ball in there. Hey, it's a good response, I think, within a minute. I think this California Baptist team will do whatever they can. I wouldn't be surprised if they park the bus a little bit here with 5 minutes left to not concede anything.
Yeah, you see everyone behind the ball except for the lone Ruben Doss as he lays off the ball as they lose it. Even Dean tracking back there. Ball in, good layoff by Mark Brown. Again, Silva on the ball. Silva looks up, gets in behind. On the right side, cross in. And knocked out for a corner kick for the Wolverines. Not a lot of corners and not a lot of chances. I think that UVU needs to take advantage of these opportunities just like, the Lancers have this half on their set pieces.
Yeah, when you're not scoring many goals, a lot of teams in top leagues, they stay up and they stay competitive through set pieces.
Ball in, near post.
Shouts for handball.
Handball, yeah. Hayden Dayton, you see him talking to the ref still.
In fairness, that's a tough one where it's bouncing around. I mean, I don't know how deliberate it is, and it may very well be ball to hand rather than hand
and
to
so
ball.
crowded, we almost can't even tell from here.
Yep.
But another opportunity here for the Wolverines. We'll see if they elect again to play near post. Yeah, another near post ball headed away.
I mean, a really interesting thing. Oh, and here we're going to see a replay of that.
Here it is. Looks like it deflects, and again, from that angle, so tough to tell with his back turned to us if it hits his hand or not. Ball across, and good win by the Lancers. Ruben on the ball. Strong player. Has the speed, he gets behind. Takes on White. Plays over to the left-hand side. 1v1 with Mark Brown. Ball in. Good hit, good save there by Joe Wheelwright.
I mean, a dangerous counter starts there with Dawes. I mean, fantastic hold-up play. That's what you want to see from your striker. And, I mean, the fact that Coach Michelson can bring him off the bench, what an asset. Here he is, disruptive. He beats his man with pace, with technique, with power. And they get a good shot out of it. Well done by Wheelwright to hold on to it.
And, again, I think it's in these moments to where UVU can keep the ball a little bit better. I know that they want to play fast and they want to get ahead. But there's still a few minutes here in the half. I think that a little bit better build-up is something that the Wolverines might need this second half.
I mean, that was your whole great little touches there. I mean, that was your key before the match even started. Hold on to the ball. It's the classic phrase. I mean, you can't lose if you have the ball. And I just don't think they've had very much of it, at least not in dangerous spots or very composed.
Right, I think, a lot of that play for UVU has been across their back line, a little bit through the midfield, and they're having a real hard time of, keeping that possession across the top of the 18 and being able to stay composed in those moments. Throw in here for the Wolverines. Up to Dean Ibrahimovic. 2 on, loses the ball. Ball up ahead for the Lancers. Good header there by White.
And I think that's what you want to see. Show some composure, great win, hold on to it, don't give it right back up. That's where dangerous chances happen.
Great composure there by Lions, and exactly what you said. That's what the Wolverines now. Keep the ball. Minute and a half here. Let's see if we can keep the ball and find the space to attack. Ball over the top. And just some, bad communication there as the two of you players don't know who's going to go after that and runs out of bounds for a goal kick.
Great night for soccer. I mean, this is something special about Clyde. And I know we're here with COVID with reduced capacity, but every year leading the nation or in the top 20 in the nation for attendance, you hear those drums maybe in the background if you're watching this feed. You've got the mountains. I mean, pretty awesome, and I think we're pretty fortunate to be participating in this.
It is. It's an absolutely beautiful setting here under the Wasatch Mountains. I had a few friends, and former teammates playing for UNLV within the conference or other places, and they said that they absolutely loved to come and play here, that the surface in this field was always great. And, I think a credit to the university. They've always kept this as, something as a great place to play and takes priority on keeping this in shape and one of the best surfaces possibly to play on in the WAC.
Oh, absolutely. I love that it's natural grass and like you said, it's well kept. I mean, it's well kept and just a really great place to play.
7 seconds here. I think wanted to try and get a shot there. Good defense by the Lancers. As we go into half here, 2-0 for the guests as the Lancers Cal Baptist have come in and really put on a great display this half.
I thought it was a master class. I know there were a couple chances we had talked about for the Wolverines. That free kick off the post. Trying to think about the other chances, the Jojea line or the Jojea where he kind of fluffed his lines. But I mean, fact of the matter, I thought it was a Cal Baptist masterclass.
Yeah, great hit, great half here, but we have 45 minutes. Don't leave us. We'll see you in just a little bit.
We love the new apartment.
The natural light is amazing.
Hardwood floors.
There is a bit of a clogging problem.
At least Geico makes it easy to bundle our renters and car insurance.
Yeah, helping us save even more.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Make some noise! Let's do this. Come on. Creators, the world needs an answer. Give us the answer. Creativity is the answer. Never play on repeat. Put your own spin on things. Let a new wave begin.
All right, come on, let's go. 2 seconds.
Creators run the show. We want the answer. From the cage to the stage. Rise up from the streets to the pros.
So much.
Creativity is the answer to a world divided. Tear down those walls. Make worlds unite. Flip the script. Rewrite the room. Creativity is the answer. Now over to you.
It's not always easy being the exception. They'll tell you you don't belong, that it's not your place, that it'll never fly. But here, you learn that you have a choice. You can listen to those voices, or you can leave them all speechless. But the key component there is you.
Some people see just another local Utah sports app. Oh, wait, what? A local Utah sports app? Introducing the new KSL Sports app, powered by KSLSports.com, Utah's only all-in local sports app, connecting you with all the action you love, the latest news, insider analysis, podcasts from the pros, and so much more. Free. Available right now, anywhere you are. Download the free KSL Sports app today from your favorite app store.
Join the Wolverine Club, a simple message with a major impact.
Finds the back of the net for the Wolverines!
Support student athletes like former Utah Valley University women's soccer star, graduate, and Rhodes Scholar finalist Hannah Bruce. Not only is Hannah the first UVU student athlete to be a Rhodes Scholar finalist, she is currently studying to earn a master's degree in neuroscience at the renowned University of Oxford in England. Support the next Wolverine Rhodes Scholar finalist by joining the Wolverine Club today.
At UCCU, we do mortgages fast.
Seriously fast. Just use your phone or computer to fill out UCCU's super easy mortgage application.
You'll receive an instant pre-approval before you start shopping.
Your completed mortgage file will be underwritten by UCCU's very own in-house professionals.
Like us.
Seriously fast.
Buying or refinancing a home has never been this easy.
Seriously fast and super easy.
It's what I do.
It's what I do.
It's what we do.
Who am I? And furthermore, what do I want? What makes you itch? That's the most important investigation anyone can make. But you don't find this out until you investigate it. So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Because if you say that money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. Forget the money. After all, if you do really like what you're doing, you can eventually become a master of it. And then you'll be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. Therefore, it's so important to consider this question. What do I desire?
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go?
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
At Intermountain Healthcare, we understand that broken arms haven't stopped. Babies continue to be born, emergencies continue to happen, and doctor visits are still needed. At Intermountain Healthcare, we've put the measures in place to safely care for you in these difficult times. So please, don't put off the care you need, especially for stroke-like symptoms, chest pain, difficulty breathing, or other urgent care. We're here for you. Visit intermountainhealthcare.org/here-for-you to learn how to get the care you need.
At UCCU, we do mortgages fast.
Seriously fast.
Just use your phone or computer to fill out UCCU's super easy mortgage application.
And buying or refinancing a home has never been this easy.
Seriously fast and super easy.
And welcome back to Orem, Utah. Clyde Field on the campus of Utah Valley Wolverines. 2-0 at half here as the Lancers had a great half overall. Couple chances early on, able to finish one halfway through the half and then finding a second one and leading UVU here 2-0. Question I have, for you, Ben, as a player, former player for UVU, how do you answer now?
I think you just have to realize you're playing for a spot. Whether for this coaching staff or another coaching staff that's probably watching this game if they're interested, for administration. Yeah, I know we were talking about it earlier. You're representing the university. This is competitive. It's a job. And, those 11 spots, people want them all over the country in the state of Utah on the bench. And I know it looks like there's some wholesale changes. Connor Dearden makes an appearance. You love to see that. A stalwart of the university who's been around and helped back up other goalkeepers in the past. But yeah, I think you just got to realize you're competing for a place.
Yeah, you see Weston here step on at the right back position for Mark Brown as well. So, like you said, a couple changes coming in here, opportunities for maybe some players to prove themselves tonight.
Yeah, and I think this is the benefit of really not much being on the line, if you will. You can play new players and give them chances. Connor Dearden with his first touch. But I guess the question I have for you, as a better coach and as a better player than me, if you're Coach Chesler, what adjustments?
I wouldn't say that.
I think you have to make an adjustment. You're down 2-0. Well, in terms of playing style, you were talking about possessing. What else do you do?
Right. I think you're exactly right. You've got to find a way to be more deceptive in the attack. You've got to find more opportunities here in this half to create chances for yourself. If not, then there's no way you're getting back in this game. And so as the UVU plays forward, but again, doesn't connect. High pressure here. Goalkeeper hits it away. Big ball over the top. Lays it off very nicely back to his center mid. One v one.
Good defending again.
Does very well.
Hopefully Eric Lyon's family is watching this. We're complimenting him. I think it's well deserved. He's been really good in the 1v1 opportunities he's had to defend.
Absolutely. I believe it's big Brian Johan over there on the ball, and it's been very, very difficult to defend. Ball in and forward. Shielding out of bounds here. Keeps the ball, but play to a center back. And ball away out of bounds. Ref saying deflected off of UVU's foot. Will be Cal Baptist ball. Good idea there for the Lancers. But again, win it back absolutely immediately from the Wolverines.
This is one of those interesting things where UVU season is over after these 90 minutes no matter what. But California Baptist, they're playing for seeding. Although, now that I say that, are they even eligible for the postseason, for the conference tournament?
No, not this year. I think this is their last year, and then next year they will be eligible.
Everyone, I was just joking about that. But if they were, again, this would put them with 6 wins, which is really respectable. And I think it gives them a really good platform for next fall.
Yeah, just we were talking about that, players that can stay, players that want experience and to, prove a point that they deserve to play next year and have a starting spot. That'll be important. These games are very important. UVU wins the throw-in. Big throw out of the corner. Great flick, but no one in there behind to receive it. Chesler demanding high pressure. Not tight enough for the defensive line, able to turn. Ball in. Leo runs to the back line. Good poke away, but the Lancers able to receive and maintain possession again. Ball laid off. Around the back corner. And a good tackle draws another corner for Cal Baptist Lancers.
You hear Chesler, Coach Chesler demanding his players to step up and press. It's a little bit weird not hearing Coach Greg Moss's distinct voice. I mean, it's something he would say all the time. And I mean, you're kind of smirking there. It's a little bit of a different feel. I mean, after 6 seasons, was it? To not have him. We'll let him have this corner, but I'd love to talk about it.
Ball in to the back post. Takes a shot, misses, and finds the touch in. And that's exactly what you have to do for the Lancers as they find a third. And really making this a comfortable game and win for the Lancers. Ball comes in, disruptive, able to hit that in, and just again, right spot, right time as the player slides in there and finds the tap in.
I don't think it's that much different. We'll see here on the replay, but I don't think it's that much different than the second goal, where it goes in towards the back post. It's actually a miss kick, it looked like, where it goes all the way up in the air.
Right.
But no one steps again, and then they end up finishing it by putting it into a dangerous place. So it's almost a carbon copy of that second goal. And 3 goals conceded or 3 goals scored, depending on which side you're on. All 3 have come from set pieces. I think that's a worrying thing for one team and a great thing for the other.
Yeah, absolutely right. As we watch the replay here, corner comes in, goes up for the header, up in the air for a long time. A step, turn their back, ball in. And you wonder if he's trying to find that. Wants a shot cross there, I believe, but falls perfectly to the feet.
That's what they say.
Lancer player.
Send it towards the back post where people are. Send it back into the mixer.
Right.
Dangerous things happen. We see it again.
Now a real uphill battle here for the Wolverines. Ball in over the top. Able to save it. Great touch in behind. Cuts in. Wanting a PK. No call. Runs out for a goal kick.
I apologize. You might have heard me gasp. I thought there was a penalty drawn, but I guess the referee is saying Jojea Quizera wasn't touched. But going to set pieces, I didn't realize it until I got to college and I was playing at the first school I was at. There was a thing we called the iron cage. It was my least favorite thing in training, where everyone is put on teams of 5 and they just whip balls into the box and you're going for them. And you see it here. That's the difference of 2 goals at least. The penalty is also one, but 2 goals off of that. And
no matter what level you watch it at, I think that those set pieces are very dangerous. And at the D1 level especially, you have just such athletes that at their size and stature are able to be dangerous, get in there, be disruptive. And the percentages as you watch and you see goals off of set pieces, it's always very high.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And, I think the margins between all these different teams aren't that great. The WAC is a good conference. I don't think there's too much between all these different teams. And that's where you got to make those sort of chances count.
Absolutely. Good win here by the Wolverines. Back, wide open player. Not able to get a good touch, and again, missed opportunity there by the Wolverines.
Great counter there. I think, as Coach Chesler, it's just been unfortunate. I think you have to say they're at least getting in dangerous positions. And, a good touch there sends you in one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And I think it might just be one of those nights where it's not happening. Missing that final touch and final product.
Yeah. Silva able to win that ball and then plays it perfectly to Quizera there. Just an unfortunate touch as Aiden Dayton draws the foul.
He's holding the knee, but I know Aiden Dayton personally, and he's a strong guy, so I'm sure he'll be okay, and he'll keep battling.
Ball into Caleb White. Plays Kizera. Kizera plays it back. Into Aiden Dayton. Wide, good touch. Lancer's happy with that tackle. Cameron Weston throw in. Great layoff. And an unlucky shot there again. Good save by the goalkeeper.
Great turn, great find by Carter Johnson again. Quizera's getting the right spots, just kind of lacking final product.
Yeah, absolutely. Just needs a little bit of composure there right in front of the net. A couple of those opportunities could put UVU in a game here. Competitive.
Oh, yeah. And I think they get one goal here in the next 5-6 minutes. I think we have a game on our hands. You just have to make those chances count. And like you said, in their defense, good little ball there.
Layoff back to Vasquez. Vasquez to Dayton. Back to Vasquez wide. Vasquez dribbles into the center.
It's a good spell here from the Wolverines. They're doing exactly what you said. Keep advancing the ball up the field, hold on to it. And I think assert some sort of dominance over this game.
I was going to mention, I think this is probably the best build-up play and possession the Wolverines have had the entire game.
Oh, yeah, it's been, really since that third goal, I think we've seen a little bit of a different side. And you like to see it, just from the neutral's perspective, it makes it a little bit more fun of a game. I don't want to see this the next 34 minutes just not be competitive. So you like to see it.
Definitely. Good answer, and you love that from the Wolverines as they answer here with a little bit of momentum change. Question is can they find that goal? Can they find that opportunity to put themselves in a good spot to try and make a game of this? 35 minutes left. Plenty of time here for the Wolverines if they can find those opportunities.
Yeah, I think who's ever at the reins next season, goals, I think that's real. Obviously they've conceded 3, and you don't win very many games having conceded 3. But you don't win any games not scoring any goals. And I know that sounds dumb and simplistic, but it's true. And I think you got to just find someone who can put the ball in the back of the net. They might be on the team already. That's not me saying that they aren't. There just has to be some sort of production. And unfortunately, they can't bring you back out of retirement, Thomas. They wouldn't have wanted me anyways. I never scored a goal.
I was going to say, I didn't score enough either. So, someone that I think they would like back as they play into the box here. Cut across in front. Carter Johnson receives it. And they're able to clear the ball off of him. Good look there for the Wolverines.
But who are you saying they...
I was going to mention that I think since Blake Frischnick, that I believe you had the opportunity of playing with, that he was absolutely dominant in his junior-senior year.
Oh, yeah.
And, just the go-to guy for scoring goals. And that, I think, is what UVU is missing.
Yeah, and I think Coach Moss, during his time, he had a few of those players. We both played with Skylar Milne. It was a season while I was gone, but I think he ended up with 10 or so goals. Paul Hoffmeister had some goals. I think, like you said, Blake Frischnick, he was really dominant his senior year. He was unfortunate towards ACL, but there are a lot of MLS sides interested in him. He's with the USL now, and that's a poor clearance for Connor Dearden.
Ball in. Good clearing defense by the Wolverines.
But yeah, Blake Frischnick just signed with Chattanooga. Oh, and it looks like that'll be a booking.
Yeah, absolutely. Alejandro Silva here. Tries to cut that ball back. Good anticipation there by the defender, able to get a heel on it. And then as he goes and slides back to try and win that, just clips the defender cleats up.
Yep, and I don't think there's anything malicious. It's just in the run of play, and I think that's you take the booking, you know it, you get up and move on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you love the energy. Yep. You love the energy and the response, and he's been, I think a player all season that the Wolverines have looked to as a freshman, and tonight he hasn't, done anything different. He's been one of the guys, in my humble opinion, that I think has kept the ball well and been one of the more dangerous players on the attack.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you think about the chances, the handful of chances that UVU have had, both half chances and full chances. Another foul there. A little bit disruptive here from these Wolverines. But again, I like to see some pride. But yeah, you think about those chances. He's had his hand or his right foot that I talked about, that wand of a right foot, has been involved with most of these chances. So, I mean, that's encouraging. If you can have a freshman centerpiece to build on.
Mueller plays that one in, and that will run out of bounds for another Lancer corner kick. Luis Mueller jogs over. He'll be the one to take this again. They like that left-footed in-swinger.
Yep, and it's worked well so far. And you hear Coach Lewis, if you can hear on the broadcast, saying, watch that backside. That's where 2 goals have come from. They like that left-footed in-swinger. It's serving them well, and Dawes comes in. He's another player who can score and make things happen.
Ball swung in. Great ball. And an unlucky look there, as the big left back wants that one back, able to hit that and just wide of the left post.
The interesting thing for me about corners is that it's all about, I think, personal responsibility and accountability. Typically, I mean, it depends on systems, but a lot of times you have your guy and you've got to stick to them. And at the end of the day, if they score, it's on you. And I think I would say that's a little bit lacking. I mean, you don't concede 2 goals on corners and not have some sort of breakdown.
For sure. Those moments, and I think this is where you see the difference in maybe levels and the best players in the world versus the average ones, or how that goes is the focus, that they are zoned in and focused every moment of every single game. And those aren't, moments for those players to relax and rest a little bit. But it is a priority and something that is demanded, in their minds to defend and not concede a goal.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've got to be locked in for 90 minutes. You're exactly right. Great play here from Zahir. You want to see this from Vasquez.
Great 1v1 there, play by Vasquez, and earns the Wolverines a corner.
Yeah, I mean, you need to show some attacking intent if you're this UVU team. And again, another set piece. I mean, I think this is the 10th corner kick of the game. Pretty evenly split for both sides.
Yeah, 6 corner kicks for the Lancers, 4 for the Wolverines. Ball in, great ball. And unlucky as the Wolverines hit there, and it just runs into the wall of defenders and goalkeeper. But, very similar almost to Lancer goals, to where that ball falls, he's able to take a shot, and Lancer's there actually to clean it up this time. Great ball in again to the back post. Headed back in, ball falls. Shot deflected off of a Lancer defender and finally cleared away. Lyons heads the ball back into the middle.
Great. I mean, good composure there. Good piece of skill. But, I mean, that two great whipped-in balls from Dunning, and you'll see here on the replay, really causing problems. I think it was Caleb White that went up in the air for it. Aaron Nixon,
Aaron Nixon goes for it. And unfortunate as Caleb White's the one that hits it, and just too many bodies in the way for that one to roll past the line.
Yep, but I mean, I think that's the second corner, that opportunity from a corner that we've seen cleared off the line. Easton Embley earlier with his head right off the line on that near post, and there, just a bunch of bodies on the line.
Brian Gonzalez on the attack, gets that one poked away. McKay Eves, just an errant through ball again. And the Lancers on the attack, no foul.
I mean, like you said, an errant through ball. You put so much pressure on that back line that's been defending all night when you just give it up and, I mean, really give it away needlessly and too easily.
Yeah, I think McKay's does such a good job of, winning that ball and defending, for most of the night here. It's just once the Wolverines win that ball, can they do a better job of keeping it? Can they then receive that and find the space, composure, time to then have balls whipped in, get numbers forward, and give themselves more chances?
Yep. And there was a short corner there by the Wolverines. I'm surprised they didn't knock it in. I mean, there have been so many chances that have come.
Another ball in, hit short. Mishit that one. Good work here by Vasquez to steal that back. Aiden Dayton on the ball. Finds Aaron Nixon. Lays it off. Dayton nearly gets through there with that touch. Wolverines win the ball back. Big one forward. Believe off of the foot of a Lancer. Looks to throw in quickly. They'll wait for Cameron Weston to come up and take this throw in.
And now that you say that, I said James Denning hit in great corners earlier. It was Cameron Weston, so my apologies.
Ball poked away again. Cameron Weston will take this throw in. Silva on the ball, and Vasquez
really acrobatically keeps that one in. I think that's a pulled hamstring for me if I try for that one.
Absolutely athletic and showing how much more in shape he is than us. That's for sure.
I'm sure all of you that are watching care about how in shape Thomas and I are, but again,
said no one ever.
Yeah.
Good clearance header there. Unlucky as Vasquez isn't able to maintain possession. 24 minutes left in the half here. And if you're just joining us or joined us at halftime, was a 2-0 lead at half for the Lancers, and they found a third goal off of a set piece. Big ball in. Just missed the guys running into the middle, able to receive possession yet again and taken away. An unlucky touch as that one runs away from Quizera again.
I think this Wolverines team, I know that they're running out of time. We've got 23 minutes left. I think you have to put one in the back of the net to make this game interesting.
For sure. I mean, we could both say that we've seen crazier things happen with, 5-10 minutes left in the game, but I think to give yourself kind of that momentum and mentality that absolutely to get a goal now is crucial. Crucial.
So we were talking about a little bit earlier, missing Coach Moss's distinctive shouting and ordering on the touchline. I mean, what do you think his legacy at the university is, being the first ever Division I men's soccer coach, both at UVU and in the state of Utah?
Well, I think that he's had a major presence in Utah youth soccer for a long time, being, president there for a number of years and then gaining the, head coaching job here. They keep possession and run forward. And Aaron Nixon draws a foul. Dayton runs up quickly, try and play this early. But I think one of the best things that, Greg was able to do in his time was recruit great talent, and I think establish a good program to where, you know, maybe in other settings and other people, that challenge of beginning a program and competing and, you know, 2 years in, going to the WAC tournament, winning a WAC championship, and going to the national tournament. I mean, that's massive success in the first few years. Ball in, punched away. Great job by the Lancer goalkeeper.
Yeah, really.
This one's booted away.
Really authoritative there from that goalkeeper. I think you're exactly right where it's, no matter what way you look at it, good ball there to stretch play, poor touch. I mean, no matter what way you look at it, 60-something wins in 6 seasons. He's averaging 11 wins a season as a new coach. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really impressive where, like you said, he built a great foundation of recruiting and, I mean, helped make Clyde Field a fortress with the 12th man, which I think is something that he helped bring for the Pacific Northwest. And I think it really is a pretty good legacy where, I mean, there were top 10, top 20 national rankings for a new program with his very first squad of players. And I mean, I think you have to applaud him for that. And I mean, you wish him well in everything that he does moving forward, where I think there are big shoes to fill, where a very distinctive coaching style, but it won games. And I think at the end of the day, that's what you want as a university, to compete.
Absolutely. Zaire Vasquez, that's it one. Big touch, plays across. And unfortunate not to be able to play that away from the goalkeeper as he cleans that up. But yeah, you know, you mentioned the unique coaching style and, you know, the way that he'd get after players, but, you know, brought a sense of seriousness to the game that I think is needed in moments for 18, 19-year-old kids. Yeah. You know?
Absolutely.
That they need a little bit of mentorship and focus. I think that he brought that. But like you said, I think almost unheard of to get to the point that he did as a team within the first couple seasons of a program.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, almost impossible. A feat I think some coaches would take on. How do I, you know, start something from scratch, nothing? How do I bring in players without experience? You know, that first class was almost all freshmen and sophomores.
Oh, yeah.
0 upperclassmen to then take that team, be able to compete for a WAC championship, go to the national tournament. And like you said, I think set a precedence moving forward that this is what's expected in this program here.
Yeah, and I think that's the compliment to him, that here we are.
Big ball in. Can he find him? And hits the crossbar, maybe just tapped away. Good hit there.
I don't know if the goalkeeper got a touch on that or if that was a deflection that put the goalkeeper under pressure. Either way, they're causing some problems. I've been impressed here with Cameron Weston's delivery. I think he's put in a few good, dangerous balls that have caused problems.
Yeah.
And I guess that's him marching on over there to the left.
Great ball in again. No one able to challenge the keeper.
Man, really
Raised
sure.
this in nicely.
Yeah, really sure hands from this goalkeeper.
Yeah, Nolan Premick has played very well tonight. Good ball forward. Physical play there. Unlucky that he can't keep it after doing a good job to receive it initially.
Yeah, so the last comment on that point of discussion will be, I mean, I think all the different players that came through the program in his 6 years, I think they have a lot to be grateful for. Where, I mean, he built something, and like you said, I think a good little touch there. I think there are big shoes to fill, and it's a compliment to him that here I am being fairly critical of this team because they're losing, where I think there's a real commitment to winning. And like you said earlier, I think this team should be competing for the WAC title every year. And hopefully Alejandro Silva, who just struck that, I mean, hopefully he's a big part of that competition.
Yeah, I think so. And a great look there by Silva. If he could find maybe one of those corners, but some good pace hit there.
Yep.
Carter Johnson able to receive this, play Caleb White. Silva on the ball now, cuts in on his right foot. Good tackle to slow him down there. Lay it off Dayton, wide. Up again to Vasquez. Lions on the ball. Drops it back to Johnson. Good possession here by the Wolverines, playing it side to side. McKay Eves on the ball, plays Dayton. Lions, wide right.
I mean, you have to do a hats off to this back four of this California Baptist Lancer side. They've been pretty stout and haven't let much in. And I mean, anytime there seems to be something dangerous, like in this position, it seems like they're able to snuff it out. And there's a perfect example.
Yeah, exactly. Wonderful anticipation there as he watches Nixon bring this down, try to have a quick turn, but absolutely stout defense today.
Yep.
And we'll see here momentarily. Dean Umarovich will step in, Zach Moss, and Martinez getting his first moments of the night. Ball forward, good layoff. Cuts in easily around Dayton. Looks to beat a third. And unlucky.
A little bit too easy there on, and maybe it was just better attacking than defending, and I don't want to downplay good at attacking intent, but I thought it was a little porous defending where, I mean, just put a foot in.
Yeah, absolutely. McKay Eves will step off. Zaire Vasquez and Aaron Nixon. You know, you wonder at this point if Chesler almost kind of, you know, giving up a little at this point, give maybe some other guys some moments and opportunity here to prove themselves, maybe a couple older classmen as well.
Yeah, I mean, none of those three were, they all came off pretty dejected. And so none of them were happy to come off. And I mean, you know that as a player. I think if you've got any sort of competition, I mean, it always stings a little bit to come off for whatever reason. So hopefully these three that just came on are able to repay their coaching staff's faith in them and I mean, change and impact this game in the last 14 minutes.
Yeah, you'd love to see an answer, at least try and get a goal or two here.
Another good tackle.
Yeah, the defense has been absolutely great for the Lancers tonight.
Yep. And like you said, I think there's just this next level of composure. And of course, right as I say it, they give it away. But they seem to win it.
Commentator's curse.
Yeah,
huh?
I know. Here I am just looking horrible all night. And Captain Mark Brown coming back in.
Can Carter Johnson keep it in? No, this one's going to run long. Brian Johan will step on. As Uriel Masqueda will step off and has done a fantastic job defending this evening.
Yep, I think he's kind of limping off. It's a well-earned rest for him. And then on the other side, Mark Brown subbing in for Eric Lyons, a straight swap. Very similar playing styles, both outside backs. I think credit to Eric Lyons, where of this back line, he's the one who stood out most to me, where I don't think you can fault him for the 3 goals. And I was really impressed tonight from the St. Mary's crowd and what he brought. What he brought to the table.
Silva again. Great footwork. Ball forward. Will it stay in? Weston able to get there. Takes out a fence while he's at it. I think that fence hurt more than.
I didn't notice. Did he take that whole bench out?
Took the whole fence out. So Weston's big body, that's nothing.
For those watching the stream, there in the bottom right where Wolverine substitutes warm up and stay warm. I've spent many a minute there, and I'm glad I wasn't there in the way of Cameron Weston's tackle.
Yeah, that could have been dangerous there. Good defensive presence here as they win the ball back. Silva on the ball, plays it in, finds Aiden Dayton. But again, the rotation of the Lancers has been really good. You find those moments where I think, you feel like you see space. You feel like there's a moment to attack, but they close it down pretty quickly. And again, needless giveaway here as the Lancers will counter. Plenty of numbers back for the Wolverines. Good tackle there by Dayton.
Looked like number 19 on the Lancers, Leo Mendez, was trying to make up and defend his teammate. You knew there was always going to be a chippy foul after that one.
Yeah, and then up 3-0, maybe not having the numbers that you want. Probably a smart foul there by the for the Lancers, as Lincoln Aquino might have got one in the face from Dayton inadvertently, I believe, but no call there as the Wolverines draw the foul and will elect to hit this long. Numbers in the box.
Ball forward. Great looking ball. Great service. I think Cameron Weston in these 35 minutes that he's been on the field, I think he's created a lot of chances from that right back position. So, something interesting to look forward to next year.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Another great ball in. Just no one there to really challenge it and get in there and give the Wolverines an opportunity.
Yeah, but going back to what you said earlier, full hats off to this Lancer. And I only talked about the back four, but you're right. It's this whole group where they're very well disciplined. And I wish I could write on the screen kind of like they do on NFL nights. But, you just see the way that they shift. And I'm being told now by our producer that it costs too much. So I don't know if you have to donate or what, but it's probably not going to happen under my watch tonight.
Ball forward by the Wolverines, but yeah, you're exactly right. They find their moments to where they put every single person behind the ball, sitting in behind the half. Ball swung side to side, and the Wolverines don't play too slow that at times. It's played quickly, but they're able to shift and close that space down very quickly.
Yeah, and so you'll see right here, it seems like they've got good switch of play during that transition, actually. Oh, another great ball, and safe hands from the goalkeeper again. But I think that's the way you break it down as UVU, where this Lancer backline started to shift, and I don't know if it was Aiden Dayton who played the ball, where he turns back and plays it right where they came from. And it gave Cameron Weston a little bit of space.
Yeah, and these are adjustments that you hope your players make earlier, right?
Yeah.
That it is, awesome to see that they're making that connection, and a season from now could be a totally different look, but just a little bit too late here.
Yep.
Good ball in, swung right, cuts in, find a cross, and good defense there.
Good tackle by Mark Brown. But great build-up there. And patient build-up where you see that they don't panic. They're here on the top of the 18, and they shift it over until they get the opportunity they want. I know they haven't scored from the run of play yet. It's all been from set pieces, which means you as viewers should probably watch this right here. But really patient attacking from this Lancer group.
Yeah, Mueller again with the left-footed in-swinger, ball in, dangerous ball, and missed there by Connor Dearden. Unfortunate, maybe a little hit and a little flick there by the forward, but from what I could tell, nice in-swinging ball, very dangerous, and missed there by Connor Dearden.
Oh, yeah, and we'll see here on the replay. I think there was a flick on, but, I mean, Mueller, what a left foot. And I'm not a mathematician, but 3 out of 7. They've had 7 corner kicks. They've scored 3 goals off that. Not good enough for the Wolverines, and great for this Lancer side. But again, I think it all comes down to accountability. Someone has to take responsibility for who gets the head on the ball. And we'll see it right here on this replay.
Yeah, I think Tim Bernhodsen is able to get that flick there, and just enough that, as we watch so many games and have experienced, that any type of deflection, any type of flick, that's going to change the direction just enough that a goalkeeper can't react and get there. So unfortunate there for the Wolverines as they take a deficit of 4-0 now with just under 8 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, really unfortunate. And again, I was talking about the iron cage earlier, about needing to take responsibility. And at the end of the day, other than that penalty, you take some responsibility on corners. It's a 1-0 game rather than a 4-0 game. It's just, again, not good enough in any way. And I know this sounds hypocritical. I lost my very last game as a competitive soccer player. My little local indoor leagues don't count anymore. But on a corner kick in overtime and conference tournament to GCU, and it was my guy, and I let him go. And I mean, it's something that still haunts me to today. And you have to take accountability. Yeah. Otherwise, you cannot win games. So, Thomas, I mean, with 7 minutes left in play, I mean, what are takeaways you have for both coaching staffs?
Well, I would say on the Lancer side, absolutely impressive performance. You can see the discipline that he's put in his team as far as, defense being absolutely important and the way that they stay organized. And you haven't seen any moments really of breakdown defensively on their part. I don't think UVU figured out the best way to break them down and find those moments to do so, but you have to credit the Lancers for that and their organization. I think as well as his coach ability to keep them composed in the way that they play in and around the 18 was impressive. And most of all, biggest takeaway is, how dangerous they've been on set pieces and corners tonight.
Yep.
Absolutely huge. And to answer your question for Chesler and the Wolverines, I think that Chesler would have hoped for a better performance tonight, that he almost needed a better performance tonight, as I'm sure Jared Sumption and the other athletic directing staff, that they will be having certain interviews and a process coming here forward to find what is going to put us in the best position to compete for a WAC championship, right?
Yeah.
What's going to put us in the best position to get back to that national tournament? Is Chesler that piece or not? Does he have, the coaching ability and the personnel or personality, rather, to be that leader that these guys need? Or, see if there's someone else that can fill that. But the next thing that I think UVU needs to watch film tonight, and like we've mentioned over and over, is that presence defensively on set pieces. There's got to be a focus there to where that could probably change the game. Like you said, that if 3 of those goals don't go in and there's better defense there in the box, could be a different game that we're having here.
Yep, I'm 4 goals off set piece, and I think you're absolutely right on both ends. I think the Lancer side really didn't have too many breakdowns. The closest chance that UVU had was the one off the post from a set piece from 25 yards out, and you can't really prevent that. Other than that, just a really organized group that, has been dangerous. as for this UVU side, I mean, it was the thing. I think it was the two things we said before the game. And not to say we're experts, but you talked about possession. I talked about goal-scoring chances. They've been too careless with the ball, I think. And yeah, and they haven't scored a goal.
Weston on the ball, whipped in. Falls to Carter Johnson's foot. Shot. Deflected out. Swings the ball wide. Mark Brown on the ball. Gonna hit one in. A little shorter than I think he would have liked. Ball played out. Lancers received possession.
This Lancer team clearly prides itself on clean sheets, huh? I mean, they're up 4-0 in a fairly meaningless game with 3 minutes left. They're throwing their body in front of it to prevent themselves from conceding.
Well done here by Mark Brown. But then plays it out of bounds. Ruben Dawes will step on again. As Leo Mendez played an absolute great game tonight, steps off. Congratulations from his coaches as he played a great game. Foul here, earned in the last minutes. Ref will stop the clock.
Leaving here until the last minute. Really good weather. I mean, not too much to complain about from our end. We saw a game with 4 goals. Depending on what side of the aisle you fall on, I mean, you could be really happy or disappointed. But great weather, good company.
Absolutely. Another ball hit, struck in. Absolutely drilled. I'm not sure who it is.
I think that's number 20, Mark Brown.
Might be Mark Brown. Took that straight to the face or the head. And almost unfortunate there. You hope that he's okay, but kills that counterattack for the Wolverines.
It actually looked like it hit his hand, and I thought there were calls for a penalty. But I mean, you hope he's okay. I don't know if you see a little bit of blood on the screen.
Yeah, I cannot tell as Weston stands over him, see if he's okay. I'm sure that he'll be getting the concussion protocol now.
Yep. He's coming off, I think, with some blood. Really courageously put his head in the way of that well-struck ball.
Yeah, absolute laser there. As Peniston John will come on now for the substitution. Peniston John, surprised that we haven't seen more of him tonight in this season, that he got a lot of time over the last season, and I think was impressive in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's one of those interesting things where, and you experienced it as a player, I've experienced it as a player, just one of those interesting things where you can't explain. I mean, kind of this ebb and flow of playing time. I mean, I think Caleb White with an adventurous strike there.
Caleb White sees the goalkeeper was a bit off of his line, tried to hit that over the top.
With 3 minutes, might as well. It was actually well struck, probably got him scared. But, I mean, looking at another defender, Samuel Cromanhook as a freshman, I think ended up playing in 12 or 13 matches starting and playing almost 90 minutes. It's interesting, especially with defenders. Well done there from Connor Dearden to step up quickly and clear his lines. But yeah, for defenders in particular, where there's so little rotation in the actual match, I think this is a little bit different because of the nature of the game.
Right.
That they're down 4-0. But typically, I mean, your back 4 or back 3, however you play, remains relatively unchanged. Whereas like a winger where you were, I mean, I think you see a lot more substitutions. So for whatever reason, I think you stick with the group that you know, and it's either all in or none.
And another ambitious shot here. I believe Pena on the ball there. Tries to hit that one time, and that skies. It goes well over the crossbar. But yeah, very interesting. Like you said, I think that the back line generally stays pretty consistent. Not a lot of substitutions. Maybe a little less miles on their legs than a winger. Lancers receive here.
And if we were both
good takeaway. Swung across to the left side.
But yeah, if we were comparing your Apple Watch to my Apple Watch back in the day, I think you're probably burning you're running 10,000 steps, whereas a center back, I might get 2,500.
Clearance again there by the Lancers. 45 seconds left here in play. 4-0 by the Lancers. Outstanding performance. Away games, they're always difficult. These guys came to play.
Yeah, especially on the back of a 4-1 drubbing by Air Force. I think this is a great response from Coach Michelson and his squad. So, I mean, yeah, hats off to them.
Yeah, and UVU was praying that there would be a different result last week.
Yeah.
That if Air Force were to lose, they would have had a chance to go through with this win tonight.
Yep.
Ball through, 5 seconds left. Can they find a goal? And they do. Goal here with 3 seconds left in the game. Dean Hirovic able to have a cutback ball and find a nice tap in.
Zach Moss coming
Zach
off
Moss, I believe.
Yeah, Zach Moss coming off an injury, gets a goal. I think that makes a big difference in terms of feeling for this Wolverine squad. I know it's 3 seconds left. I know it's pretty meaningless, and we'll see on this highlight.
We'll see Hirovic get across, deflection, and Zach Moss, nice outside touch with his right foot, able to tap that in and find it past the outstretched legs and arms of the goalkeeper, who Nolan Premack prior to this, just absolute great game, and not a lot he could do there. But that'll do it for us tonight. 4-1 here on Clyde Field in Orem, Utah, Utah Valley University. You wish better for UVU in their last game of the season, but likewise for the Lancers, their last game, and they want to come out and end on a good note. And this leaves UVU with a little bit of bitter taste in their mouths.
Yep.
As a player, how do you take that? How do you go into next season with it?
That's where it's tough, where it's just such a different season, and you and I never had to experience a pandemic disrupted season. But I think it's mostly, take the summer, get fit, get ready to play whatever style is introduced in the fall, and be ready to compete and win games. I mean, the goal has to be a WAC championship, and I think anything below that for either team isn't good enough.
Yeah, well, you'll see that motivation hopefully this next season. But it's been a pleasure. Ben Perkins, Thomas Loomis here, and again, 4-1 win by the Lancers, and we wish you the best and a great night.